Shalom, shalom, Israel. This your bro, Yael, doing what I do. I'm gonna make another quick video. It's gonna be quick. I'm just reminiscing, thinking about, everything that's going on here in Georgia, around the world. It's just, we are definitely living in some crazy times. But one thing that we must do, we must stay focused. We must really ask ourselves, do we really want this? Do we really want this life? Do we really want to live according to these laws, statutes, and commandments? Because I can say this now, and some people might say I'm not in no position to say it, but I'm gonna say it. It's too many of our people that's not really about this. You see it in their action, you see it in their talk. It's not hard to see. You can see it. They seem to be openly flaunting the fact that they're not about living according to Torah. They're not about exalting this awesome king that we serve, the Holy One of Israel, the Elohim of our fathers, Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov. They're not for real. It's like it's some kind of game for some. It don't seem real at all. It's a game. They get to play dress up. One day out the week, they get to play holy. Then maybe a couple of days out of every other month, every few months that come by, they get to gather and put on their best and act righteous, act holy, talk the talk, and walk the walk, because they're in the presence of others, and they got to keep the look up. But the thing is, they're not for real, because as soon as they get out of the presence of their congregation, as soon as they're no longer in the presence of their brothers and sisters, as soon as they're no longer in the presence of their rabbi or their moray or their morah or their spiritual leaders, they become who they are. They become who they really are. Because many of them, as I said before, they're playing a game. They're playing a game that they're going to lose. Because you think you are fooling man, but you're not fooling some of us, and you're definitely not fooling the Elohim of all creation. You're not fooling him. You're playing a dangerous game that may cost your life if you don't hurry up and repent, if you don't hurry up and get real. Because now, I'm gonna be honest, I love social media, because that's the way I get to contact with some people that I may never meet face to face. So social media give me my mean to keep up with a lot of people that I have met over the years through social media. It gives me a chance to learn, to build, and to to me, I use it as a tool to gather information, to learn, to share. It's really not something that I use for entertainment's sake. When I was younger and I wasn't in this way, it was for entertainment's sake, for a good laugh or something like that. But that's not what I use social media for. It's not for getting a good laugh. It's for learning and finding new techniques on how to get better, how to apply this Torah, strategies, things that I could do to become a better man, husband, father, a better son, a better friend. Because even though some may say I'm their moray, so say I'm their minister, but the fact is I'm a student. I'm a student that love to share the things that I learned that I feel that would be beneficial to anyone who wants to hear. But we gotta wake up. We gotta stop playing games. We're playing games. Many of us are playing games. And you don't know the rules of this game. You think you know the rules of this game, but you don't. Because one thing, Yehovah, the Elohim of our fathers, is nothing to play with. And many of you think you got this game down pat. Many of you think you have you got it down pat and you know what you're doing. You're fooling the right people that you need to fool, but you're not fooling everybody. And as I said before, you certainly are not fooling God. So all I want to say, my brothers and sisters, if this is you, if you know you playing a game, if you know you're not really about this, that you're not really about this life, you're not really about serving the Creator, you're not wholly devoted unto Him, you're not fully committed to living according to this Torah, you better repent. And you better be for real about it when you do it. Because this isn't a game. God is nothing to play with. You are playing a game that you are going to lose unless you repent. Return back to Yehovah. Return back to the God of our fathers. And in returning to Him, remember, that includes living according to Torah. There's no way around it. You got to denounce everything that is not Yehovah. You got to denounce it. You got to put it away. You got to return to Yehovah. You got to embrace Him and Him alone. You got to live according to these laws, statutes, and commandments. That is our requirement in life. Once you identify as Israel, you are required, you are commanded. It is your portion in life to worship only Yehovah. It is your portion in life to walk according to these laws, statutes, and commandments. That is your portion in life. It is said this way: to fear God and keep His commandments. Fear Elohim and observe these laws. That is our duty in life. We are priests in the earth. Torah is supposed to drip from our lips. But for too many of our people, it's a game. Too many of our people have the outward appearance. They got a few words down pat that they like to use that fool people to make them think they're about it. But the problem is, you're not fooling everybody. And you're only making a mockery of the things of God. And God is not going to take that. God is not going to keep putting up with it. He's being merciful and kind to you right now, trying to give you a time, a space to repent, to return. But many of you are wasting your time. Many of you are not using your time wisely. Many of you still think you got the lead in this game. You need to wake up. Jehovah's nothing to play with. This way of life is nothing to play with. You're either about it or you're not. You're either Israel or you're not. Let me say it this way. You're either Israel or you're just Israel. What do I mean by that? When I say Israel, I'm talking about you about it. It's in you. You are Israel. You want to live up to what that name means. And when I say it lightly, when I say it low-toned, with no spirit, many of you just have identified with that word, Israel. And you think it means everything. You think that's your calling card for salvation because you identify as Israel. One thing we can see within the scriptures, we see our people when they operate in righteousness, and we saw them when they did not. Being Israel don't mean you're going to make it. Being Israel don't mean you saved. Identify, know your nationality. But when you fully embrace it for what it truly means, you better change. You better walk the walk and talk the talk. Yes, I know we will have moments where we may miss it. We will miss the mark. We miss the target that we're aiming for. But I'm telling you now, you better repent and you better try again with all your might to get it right. You better ask for Jehovah to help you. But you better stop playing this game you playing. Ask yourself, simple. Ask yourself, do I really want this? Do I really want to live this life? Do I really want to be set apart? Do I really want to be holy unto Jehovah? Do I really want to live according to these laws, statutes, and commandments? Ask yourself, do you really want it? Because if you don't, it's sad. But I'm telling you, my brothers and my sisters, I love you. But some of you got to stop playing this game. I'm not even saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying I'm all that. But I know one thing, my heart is to live this. Even though I may miss it from time to time. I don't always dot my I's and cross my T's. But when I know I'm outside of the will of God, it's only one thing to do. That's repent and get it right. It's not to play no games. It's not to say, oh, well, he knows my heart. Nah, we got to repent. We got to do that which is right. So my brothers and my sisters, that's all I want to share at this time. This is your brother Yael Ezra Ben Levy. Peace.